I'm your host, Kelly Morgan, indie author and indie publisher. Welcome to another episode of The Author's Mic. Welcome to today's episode. Hey everybody, Kelly here, indie author, indie publisher, and it's another episode of The Author's Mic. And you know that it's Monday because I have a guest. Every Monday, I share the platform with anybody who wants to come share the platform with me. It's easy peasy. Today, I have Shaina Hargens. She is an author. She is a motivational speaker. She is a coach. She is here today to talk about her journey. And I am so happy you are here. Welcome, Shaina.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I am excited for this opportunity and this space with you.
Yeah, so thank you. So I always like to ask, we're all authors here, we're all friends. We all want to know, like, how did you get here? Like, did you always want to be an author? Did you just kind of drop into it? Like, how did all this happen?
Well, quite a few years ago, in like a self-discovery journey and also self-help, right? Like reading the books, going to the seminars, that kind of thing. I wrote down an affirmation that said, I am a best-selling author. And then, actually, just last week, I found a notebook from another seminar, what have you. I found some notes, and in there, I am an author. And here I am. Part of it is magic, and part of it is I wrote it down.
Yeah, you manifested it as what you did. You made it into something real, and then you probably put some thought and some energy and intention behind it. And
Oh,
here you are.
absolutely.
So, how did you like what is the book? Like what was that first book and how did you get it out there? Did you find a publisher or did you self-publish?
Well, if you say the first book, that one's not done yet.
That's so true. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that is funny. That is profound. Yes. So the one that actually got published.
Yes. I had to say that, right? You can't not really acknowledge the journey. So this particular book and journey, I brought it with me, Anchoring Amidst. I don't even have like other than my author's copy in my hand yet. And that came from, gosh, it's hard to know where to start. Like I'd say in in the last 10 years of all this growth and discovery and then people like then becoming a coach, like how did you do that or where did you get that from, or just really cataloging all of those things along the way. And right in the middle of this last 10 years were the two hardest things I've ever done, and that is say goodbye to my first child and have a rainbow baby.
Wow.
And in all of that, this the concepts in this journal, it's a guided journal. It's actually not a book, so to speak. Every once in a while, I'm like, no, this is a journal. This is not a book, but I'm an author. So, um, the getting to this point, all of these pieces are in this journal, Anchoring Amidst.
That's so funny that you say that because I just did an episode or an episode just aired of the Author's Mic where I talk about how if you journal, you're an author, right? And it sounds to me like this book came from you journaling. It sounds like it didn't start off as something that you were going to publish. It just sounds to me like it was just something that you were just writing to go through whatever you were going through. Most of us use writing as therapy.
Oh, absolutely. And I preach that and I teach that and I ask my clients like, have you written that down? Like feel that out in the form of writing so that it becomes something that you can actually use.
So when you say that you were going through this journey, and I love when people talk about their journeys, because the journey as far as discovery and growth is messy, it's uncomfortable, it's ugly, it's challenging, and sometimes you just want to retreat because it's uncomfortable to kind of come to grips with yourself and the things that you've got going on and how you maybe work through changing those things or accepting those things or whatever it is you got going on.
Yep.
But as you say that you're going through that, did you find that writing through that helped you maybe level set it so that you could go through it?
Yes. Yes. I filled pages and pages, probably three of your regular size 140 page or whatever journals, just in the first year after losing my son. And just answering questions for myself, and then also just writing down everything, all the ugly, all the good stuff, just everything. Just writing it down allowed it to be something real.
So when you take something so personal, what makes you say, huh, I think I'm going to put this out into the world?
Well, so the journal itself that is published is not mine, it's yours. And so what I did, um, 2.5 years after my son was born, my little girl was a year and a half roughly. I felt like I could breathe again. I felt like I could take what I had learned and start answering for myself, like, how did I survive? And how can I help others? And so I zoomed out. And the word of the year for me that year was amidst. And I was in the midst of my revival. I was amidst the thick of motherhood and grief and all the things. And having zoomed out, or the taking the time or having the ability to zoom out and say, okay, what are those pieces? What made it to where I survived losing my son? And I distilled it down to 6 different kind of pillars or anchors that I had built, not knowing how or why or when I would need them. And so from there, um, fast forward a year to this summer, and I'm sitting there journaling, writing about how my summer wasn't going the way I thought it was going to be, and like all just dumping, right? Just trying to pick up the pieces and figure out what my summer was going to look like. And then started asking myself like, okay, what do I already have in place? What questions have I asked myself? And in that session, I wrote down probably 40 of the over 70 prompts that are in my journal. And so these prompts, these questions are based on those 6 pillars that bring you closer to resilience and to who you are and how you can actually harness that and take action on that no matter what the world around you looks like.
That's cool. So, what, when you were kind of discovering these pillars and you're writing and you're journaling and you're going through all these emotions, I'm sure it was a roller coaster ride. Did you know that you were creating these 6 pillars, or was it after you had written it and then went back and read it and be like, oh, I see a pattern here. I actually see something here. Or did you know that you were writing about these pillars as you were writing about them?
Um, A little bit of both. So I have a sisterhood. So it's a group coaching space where I do a presentation every week and we walk through a piece or an element of self-discovery, self-help, growth and action and things like that. And so I had an opportunity with our group to present something bigger, right? We had set aside a bigger time. And I was like, I'm going to write about these pillars. What are they? And so I just wrote them down. whether it was, and I went through old journals and notes from conventions and workshops and things that I had been to, and I just picked them out. I said, "Oh, this is it. This is that one. Oh, yep, that's how that trickles down into those things." And I just itemized those 6 pillars in an intensive session with that group. And then a few months later, I had sat down and had that journaling session of what am I doing with my summer? And these prompts came out.
Very cool. So, how long has the journal been available?
2 months.
Wow, so congratulations.
Yes.
It's a huge, so what, so now that it's out there, you've got the, you're thinking, ugh, got it out there, I'm done, but you're not done because now
No.
the hard part of your journey, which is the marketing of said journal. And what have you been doing, or what have you found in, the spaces and the people that you've connecting with? What have you learned so far about marketing this book?
Um, a lot of it, I just am gonna give credit to God. Like having conversations like this has been huge and so well aligned that a couple months ago, I just decided I was like, I'm gonna have these conversations. Like God aligned the title and the story and how it just all falls into place to make it easy for me to tell.
Nice.
And so I'm telling the story.
And have people been and it's probably because you have put such intention behind it. I would imagine that this is just part of the journey with the people that you meet, but because you put intention behind it, it's been easy for you to find mediums in which to talk about the journal, right?
It has
Doors have
been,
opened, I bet.
yes. So right before um I went live. So I said 2 months. I need to correct myself. It has been only 1 month for sale. But 2 months ago, my husband is a logger, and sometimes we go with him to his job site if it gets too far away from home. And we were getting ready to go to his job site that was too far away from home. And it's like God stopped me. I was just driving, just thinking about, okay, if I'm going to publish my journal in a couple weeks, this is what I need to do, just kind of zinging it through my brain. And it's like God stopped me and said, the journal title you have chosen will not allow this journal to be as big as it's going to be. And I was like, okay, like I wasn't totally set on it anyway. And I was like, okay, God, but that means you have to give me a journal title. And that's when it just all fell into place.
Nice.
And then all of these opportunities are asking for this type of conversation
Because it's
where
important.
resilience meets chaos.
Yeah, and it's a part of, mental health and growing and healing, which I think in today's chaotic, crazy, upside down, bizarro world that we live in, we all need to know that there's a space that we can go to where we can just simply heal and be ourselves. And if that means journaling or learning how to journal, or somebody can kind of guide me through that, I'm truly believe that when you are authentic in your message, you will always reach the right people, even if you think they're not listening, right? Even if you think nobody's listening and you're on social media and you're screaming into a void, you're not. And I have to remind myself that as well. Somebody is listening, somebody is thanking you for your words, can relate to your journey, and probably really needed to hear that. So keep going, definitely. So if people want to find the book and to connect with you, how do we do that?
We go to anchoringamidst.com.
Easy
I
peasy,
like, yes, keep it
easy
simple.
peasy. So if you could give anybody any type of advice, whether they're going through something, maybe they want to give up, maybe things are hard, maybe they got obstacles, challenges, loss, grief, whatever. If you could give somebody a sound piece of advice that they could take with them today, what would you tell them?
Hmm. Lean on your relationships, the relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship that you have with others, and the relationship you have with your higher power. God.